Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your December 2021 general readings. We're looking at the first half of December from the 1st through the 15th. This reading is for the Earth sign of Virgo. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone who celebrated Thanksgiving had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks for taking the time to be here. To my followers, subscribers, community, thank you so much for all of your likes, shares, donations, feedback, comments, reaching out for personal readings. All greatly welcome and appreciated. Thank you. So, this reading is for as I said, Virgo, for the first 2 weeks of December 2021. That's if your Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus sign is in Virgo. It's relevant if you're cross-watching for a Virgo. It's a general reading. Of course, it's going to resonate a little differently for everyone. Watch all of your signs for additional insight. If it does resonate with you and you would like to take a deeper look at something, perhaps reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to contact me directly at Maggie, the number one McGuire at gmail.com. You can also see that contact info by clicking the arrow below the description link. I can usually respond within the same day with more information. I do offer a wide variety of readings, and we are headed into the holiday season. Personal readings do make great gifts for friends, family, and loved ones, so something to keep in mind. Also to keep in mind, and particularly popular this time of year, are the overviews I do, 6 and 12-month overviews, which give us a look ahead in all the main areas of life for the next 6 or 12 months. And they are quite popular, although you can order them any time of the year. But a lot of people order them around this time as we're transitioning towards the end of an old year and into a new one. So keep that in mind as well. Okay. Virgo, let's see what the first 2 weeks of December look like for you. I am using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. Okay, Virgo, we begin with the moon. Spiritual stirrings, but perhaps a lack of clarity, maybe a little confusion, maybe some hidden fears or deep subconscious fears, or maybe even unrealistic fears. With that, we have the Eight of Wands, forward movement, powerful communication, travel, action forward, sometimes Cupid's arrows. Not knowing if you should move forward on something or not. Next to that, we have the Sun, light, love, warmth, laughter, uplifting of restrictive energies. It also represents illumination and the relief that comes from illumination, because the Sun, when it comes out in a tarot spread, like the real sun comes out in the world, it affects everything when it comes out. The Sun card affects in a positive way all the surrounding cards in a tarot spread as well. They can act as kind of a boost to positive energy cards, and for cards that look a little more challenging, they can lessen that energy as well. It represents illumination and uplifting of restrictive energies, illumination and acceptance as well. With the Ace of Cups, sometimes new love and romance, the beginning of the heart opening up again, hope, a new emotional beginning. Another ace, the Ace of Swords, victory that comes from truth being revealed, victory that comes from enlightenment, the potential for victory and success that comes from seeing something for the actual reality of what it is, a brand new perspective on something. Sometimes the Ace of Swords represents victory that comes because of seeing something in a new light or in a real light. And sometimes the Ace of Swords can be that you look at a situation and see it for what it actually is. It might not be what you want it to be. But in that energetic space, you have the opportunity to make choices and decisions to create a better reality for yourself from seeing the truth of something. So potential new beginnings here, because aces represent the number one, the start of a new path or the opportunity for that. With the Hanging Man, not just yet, not taking action yet. The Hanging Man hangs upside down in what sometimes is an uncomfortable position if you want to act, but he's waiting for something. He's watching things playing out. There's a certain amount of temporary self-denial or self-sacrifice with this, but it's worth it because of the information you're gaining, and you're waiting for something to play out. You're not making any spontaneous or impulsive decisions at all. I think because I've done the other two earth signs, your sister signs, Taurus and Capricorn already, and similar energy, although perhaps different subject matter. Um, but it's about waiting, not wanting to know if now is the right time to move on something or act on something or take up an opportunity. But for a lot of you, coming to the realization that now is not quite the right time yet, and surrendering to that and accepting that and actually having peace from that. From the bottom of the deck, the overall energy is the Four of Coins, the Miser card or the Hoarding card. It can represent being careful with your resources, careful with your money, needing to be frugal. It's a card of withholding, of being careful with what you have. I'm going to pull one more with that. The Six of Cups, historical connection or significance. But it's also, and I feel like it represents here, what the temptation to move more quickly on whatever this is. The Six of Cups is a card that can relate to childhood, but it can also represent that time period, that energy of when we were children and we didn't worry, we didn't think about consequences of decisions or long-term futures because we didn't have those kind of stresses and worries that we have today as adults, right? So having a childlike disposition, seeing something through rose-colored glasses, which is different than the Four of Coins. The Four of Coins doesn't see things through rose-colored glasses because they know they have to be careful with what they have if they want something down the road or, consequences here. So I think you guys, and it might be something financial for many of you, there's something you want to do, obtain, acquire, something of that sort. You're not quite sure. I mean, the Moon and the Eight of Wands is not being quite sure if now is the right time to act or when the right time to actually move forward on this is. There's a temptation to kind of maybe rush forward into something like a child would. But I think most of you at the end of the day, meaning, these are short readings. They only cover basically 2 weeks or so. With the Ace of Swords and the Hanging Man, it's not quite the right time yet. And that's okay. There's a sense here with the Sun and the Ace of Cups almost of hope, or like having, it's like God's spirit, angels, and guides kind of gifting you with the faith that, you know what, I'm going to have this thing that I want, and I know that. And so I can rest in peace that perhaps now is not quite the right time to move forward or act on something. That's pretty much what I'm getting the whole gist of this reading is. The conflict, if there's any real conflict or challenge here, I think is the desire to move forward, the desire to just, go out and get it, whatever the thing is. I mean, this is a general reading, so whatever it is, the thing is that you want most is going to vary. But this is about being smart in the way that you go about it. Like if it's a financial thing, an investment, like Capricorn, it might have been a move, an investment or a business or a move or a home of some kind. It's tempting to take the first thing that comes along or to get into a contractual agreement that's realistically over your head, but you just move into it because you're so excited and you tell yourself you can do it and you're not really thinking it through too clearly or with all the details. But it's actually about being prudent and being wise and not making spontaneous and impulsive decisions just because, you think you want to move forward with something right now because it feels like it's not quite the right time. And that's pretty much what I'm getting here. Let's clarify that Four of Pentacles, Six of Cups. Overall energy. The Eight of Swords, feeling held back, chained, held hostage, or feeling like you're unable, you're restricted, you're unable to move forward in some way. And Judgment, being at a major crossroads in making a decision that could profoundly change your life path, but feeling like you can't or you shouldn't. Clarify the Moon. The Fool. It might be too risky. It might be too foolhardy. You might not have all the information yet. Clarify the Eight of Wands, the card of action. Clarify. It feels like you want to move forward, but you're frustrated because you feel you can't. You're restricted in some way. Some of you, it might be restricted by finances. Some of you, it might be restricted or feel held back, or the thing that's kind of getting in the way, like with Taurus, it was maybe perhaps moral or ethics. You know, maybe moving forward in this thing isn't quite the right time, and it's not quite, doesn't go along with my ethics. Clarify the Eight of Wands. The Moon. The Moon is clarified by the Eight of Wands, and I'm clarifying the Eight of Wands. We have the Moon again. Yeah, the Eight of Wands is a card of action. Aggressive, assertive, forward movement, action, Cupid's arrows, communication, travel. It's forward movement. Not quite sure if this is the right time to act yet. Not quite sure about moving forward. Not quite sure if it's risky. Some of you may want this certain thing, and sometimes you feel like it might not be possible. Maybe you're just, you know, building castles in the sky and it's not even realistic. I actually think that whatever it is that you're wanting or going for is realistic, but I think you need to be smart in when you do it and how you go about doing it, and choosing just the right thing or just the right time for it. Clarify the Sun. Death, final endings, transformation. The Ten of Wands, final endings. 10 represents cycle ending, being able to lay a heavy burden down. This is something coming to a final and complete end once and for all, something that's been perhaps quite a bit of a burden for you. Clarify the Ace of Cups. Well, that one just jumped right out of there. The Hanging Man. Not quite yet. You got the Hanging Man next to the Hanging Man here. The Earth signs had such a similar theme in terms of, I want this thing, or I want to take this opportunity, or I want to move forward with this thing. There is, with all three of your the Earth sign readings, there is an element of risk to the thing. Now, the risk might be this is not the thing you should be going for. You should be going for a better thing. For some of you, it might be that the thing you're wanting to go for now is not quite the right time. Because, I mean, waiting is all over this. Waiting is all over this reading. It's about being patient. It's not about not being able to have what you can have. I think you can. It's just about timing, because the Hanging Man twice is a very strong major arcana, God, Spirit, Angels, Guides message that you may not have all the information yet. Events are still playing out. So make a mild to moderate temporary sacrifice of self-denial while you're waiting to see how things play out. Because at the end here, we have enlightenment, waiting and gaining enlightenment because of it, with that Ace of Swords and the Hanging Man. Clarify the Ace of Swords. Strength, facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, wrestling with your shadow self, facing, this is like facing the truth of a situation, having the strength to face it, the truth of a situation. The Wheel of Fortune, divine timing and orchestration. I think Spirit's giving you kind of a clue, kind of an eye-opening sort of thing towards the middle of December here. Waiting, watching, you're being advised pretty strongly here. I mean, I usually pull advice and guidance cards, and I will, but I feel like you're already being advised pretty strongly here by Spirit, Virgo, to wait. Something is playing out, and you're going to see why at the end of it. That what you need to know is going to be revealed to you at the right time in the right way, and you just need to be strong enough to kind of sit with that, basically. Clarify the Hanging Man. Because here we have the Hanging Man with the Ace of Cups, waiting for that new beginning. Let's clarify the original Hanging Man. The Knight of Swords and the World, graduation, leveling up, a pretty significant portion of your life journey, or important part of your life journey being at an end. The World represents graduation, which means you've reached the top of maybe what's been a particularly difficult mountain to climb, but you've done it. You're at the top. You're pausing to catch a breath, look at where you've come from, and then you're looking forward into a brand new horizon with brand new offers, opportunities, options, a whole new landscape. So it's graduating to the next level, an opportunity here to graduate to the next level, to move forward with this thing that you're wanting. Because you were patient, because you waited. You waited to get everything that you needed to get. That's what I'm getting. All right, let's end with some advice guidance cards for Virgo for the first 2 weeks of December. Any final messages, guidance, advice, feedback? The Star. Renewed and restored hope, faith, and optimism. Renewed and restored means perhaps previously lost. The Star usually comes after a period of difficulty or darkness or despair or pain of some kind or illness, right? And in the tarot, chronologically, the Star comes after the Tower, where everything comes all crumbling down. But the Star comes after that. It shines in the sky to light the way. It restores and renews hope, faith, and optimism. It's also one of the cards, it's also one of the other wish fulfillment cards, but it requires faith. It requires knowing, even though maybe you can't see too far ahead, that the path that you're on is the right one, that it's going to bring you what you want, wish fulfillment. But it requires some patience, some waiting, and some faith. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. The Page of Swords, learning, gathering information. The Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, so that you can elevate to a level of having true security, true abundance, and true long-term security and stability with the Ten of Pentacles. Which also is an implication that for many of you, this is something to do with the earth energy area of your life: money, finance, property, real estate assets, job, inheritance. You know, it's like, don't give up what you want most for what might be right in front of you right now and tempting. Spirit is saying, wait. Things are playing out. There's still more insight and perspective you need in order to get to a place which, if you wait, you will get to this place of real security, real abundance, long-term security and stability, financially, materially, and emotionally as well. It's a great reading. It just requires that thing that a lot of us have difficulty with, which is a little bit of patience and not grumbling while you're doing it, actually watching things play out, gain more information, perhaps even saving a bit more money, getting more information, seeing what other options there are as well. Okay, Virgo, that is your reading for the first half of December. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful, gave you some validation, food for thought, insight. If this did resonate with you, you'd like to perhaps take a deeper look at something, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. You can also get that info from clicking on the description link below. I would be delighted to hear from you and even more delighted to work with you. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the December mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.